Hi, my name is Joan Ranquet, and I'm an animal communicator and an author. And I have 1 million stories in either one of my books. One of my books is called Communication with All Life, Revelations of an Animal Communicator. And the other book is called Energy Healing for Animals. And one of my favorite stories that is in Energy Healing for Animals is, I call it, That's My Story and I'm Sticking to It. And I once went to a barn where I was going to talk to a horse, and I met the woman at in the barn aisle, and when we went into the stall, she proceeded to tell me 50 million things about the horse. First she said, oh, my horse is, this happened at the racetrack, and this happened at the racetrack, and this happened at the racetrack, and I thought, okay, note to self, got it. And just as I would say, I'm going to get quiet now and connect with your horse, she would be like, oh, but wait. And so she continued to kind of interrupt the quietness. She interrupted the quietness. And as she interrupted the quietness, there continued to be more and more and more and more and more and more story. So there were 1 million stories about this horse. When I connected with the horse, and one of the things that had happened was their communication and connection had broken down. And when I had connected with the horse, indeed, some of what she talked about was part of it. The horse had told me that she had stopped meditating. When I mentioned to her that she had stopped meditating, she actually said that she was pretty Christian and that she had stopped doing her regular amount of prayers. So that was important feedback for her from the horse. But the rest of it wasn't as important. And so before I went into saying anything to her about what the horse had to say, I actually took a moment and thought, how do I say this? So I finally just looked at her and said, okay, how long have you been married? And she said, I've been married for 6 months. And I said, all right, how would you feel if your husband took you to dinner with his old college friends, and as he introduced you as, look, here's my new wife. She had a terrible upbringing. She had just the worst stuff happen to her, and then in college she drank too much, and I think she'll behave tonight. Right? How many times do we carry a story into the room about our dog, cat, or into the arena with our horse? How many times do we go to the dog park and say, he's a rescue? Yes. And we live with all these challenges. So part of what I love to get people to do is just to collapse the story, to not make it such an important thing, because it's the storytelling that continues to compound the situation. And I'm not blaming anybody because I've been guilty of it myself. We all love a good story. Let's just make a better story for our animals. Thank you.